first thing we're going to do is make sure that we have our flight plan set. I went ahead and picked a parking spot here and then went over to KNIP and just clicked on the airport in general and set that as my arrival. For the VORs, I do see that there is a setting right here where it's VOR to VOR, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like it works very well. I'm not going to be using it. I'll try to see if I can figure out how exactly they put that together. When it comes to VFR flights, SkyVector is great because they have real-to-life VFR charts, and I will put the website to SkyVector in the description below so you can click on that. But really all you have to do is come up here and type in KSSI for the departure, and then KNIP for the flight to the destination. And you can see we have a direct to, now we're actually going to do the VORs, and these circles are the VORs. So we're going to use this one right here. It's the Brunswick, and we can just pull this. You can see right here, that's the VOR, that middle part. And we'll click plan, that is there. And we also want to use this one. The airport is the middle of this VOR, so we'll go ahead and pull it in right here. And you can see, there it is, the Craig, we want that. And we actually want to avoid a lot of this airspace. This is a MOA, a military operating area, and then out here is a warning area. This is a class Charlie. So there's a lot of things that we want to avoid. What I'll do is I'll just drag this out somewhere over here, and we'll do plan. And that's about 23 nautical miles and 21. Let's bring it in just a little bit more this way. And 22 and 22. That should work pretty well. So we'll go ahead and fly directly to, and then fly outbound to this point, and then fly inbound on this VOR, and then over to the airport. And we will actually miss all the important airspaces that we need to avoid. And we'll make sure to pick an altitude above 2,500 because this is the airspace here. As long as we're above that, then we won't hit those airspaces. After loading in with the Bonanza, I realized the Bonanza didn't have a full checklist, and that's something that I wanted to go over in this lesson. So I went ahead and changed over to the Cessna 172. So it does have a full checklist here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through from pre-flight all the way to taxi. We'll complete that, and then we'll do the run-up just short of the runway. So the first thing I'm going to do checklist assist, which is nice to have, and that's going to be in assistance, piloting, and assisted checklist. Apply and save. And then once we get to the runway, I'm going to turn it off. Okay, now we're on run up, so we're going to do that at the taxiway. But first we have to check the weather.
Kilo Sierra Sierra India automated weather observation 1700 Zulu. Wind 277 at 7. Visibility 7. Sky condition few clouds at 1,000 feet. Temperature 15C dew point 13C altimeter 29902.
Okay, 29902. That is set, and the wind was 277. 22 is going to be the closest to the wind that we can get, so we'll taxi there. What we're going to do is we're going to taxi right over here. This is the hold short line, so we'll come off to the side for the run-up. Let's go ahead and do that. First, we need to pick a taxiway, or a runway, I should say, and then announce our taxi.
Kilo Sierra Sierra India traffic Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is taxiing to runway 4.
Now, runway 4 is not the one we want to do. I found that Microsoft Flight Simulator isn't too great at this. You just have to do it again.
Kilo Sierra
And
Sierra
now it
India
will say
traffic
22.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is taxiing to runway 22.
Okay, we'll look around. Nobody's here. We could get a pushback, but I'm just going to go ahead and turn sharp. Probably not the best idea in real life, but for me, I'm going to do it. Okay, this is a good spot to do our run up. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, now some of these things we actually do have to do. So let's go ahead and check this out. So we're going to fly directly to this VOR, and then we're going to go outbound 180, and then about 22 nautical miles we're going to come inbound. This is going to be 015, but since we're going this way, we actually want to do the opposite side of that. So 180 degrees from 015 is going to be 195. And then we'll go this way. We'll figure out what that is a little bit later. But for now, we do need to set our frequencies and our altitude. Let's do altitude first. This tells us in this quadrant, you can see these lines right here. This is the highest point, and that's 700. So 1,000 and 100. 700, 500, 700, and 1,200. So we need to at least be above that. There are some clouds in the skies. We may need to go higher than that to avoid clouds because VFR, we don't go into instrument conditions. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick 4,500. I like that altitude. Okay, 4,500 is set right there, as you can see. And now we're going to change our navigations. We will check right here. Our first one is going to be 109.8 SSI. So doing it in this box, 109.8. Check for SSI. Perfect. And if you click down, then it moves this blue box. That'll be for the next one. Let's go ahead and check down here. The circles box is right here. The Craig 114.5 CRG. So 114.5. 114.5. And it may be too far to tell. Nope, CRG. Okay, perfect. And we are going to come right over here, and we're going to set the options so that we have DME, distance measuring equipment. So there's nav 1 is going to be set there, and nav 2 is going to be set here. So for this one, it's going to be SSI. For this one, it's going to be CRG. Okay, we are set there. We have our altitude, we have our navigation. So we should be set to go on to normal takeoff. For this part, I am going to go into assistance and turn off the assistance for checklists. I find it's easier that way. Okay, and we will go out to the runway. Okay, here we are, for runway 22. Now that we're at runway 22, we are going to go ahead and bring the ATC back down, and we're going to depart south.
Kilo Sierra, Sierra India, traffic Cessna
Check
Alpha
for
Sierra
anybody
X-ray
coming.
Golf, Sierra
Check down
Alpha,
here for any
taking off runway
aircrafts.
22 south departure.
Looking down the runway, waiting for someone to respond, saying that they're inbound or something to that extent. Don't hear anything, so let's go ahead and continue on. The item is ticked already. Flaps are at 0, which is fine for this takeoff. Then next will be full throttle, full mixture. Mixture is already full rich. Okay, full throttle for mixture. Check for any enunciations, none. Airspeed is live. Next we're going to be pitching for 55. Or rotating at 55, I should say. There it is. Now we're going to be pitching for 70 to 80. Let's go ahead and move this so that it's straight ahead and we can go direct to VOR. There we go. We'll go ahead and set the autopilot. Let me zoom in here so you can see it. It is going to be the flight director first, nav mode, and we're going to do flight level change. 75 will be good. Autopilot, now it's going to track this. It's on VOR and flight level change up to 4,500. It's going to fly at 75 knots until it gets there. So perfect, we are looking good. On the 201 radial, inbound to SSI. You can see SSI is right over there. We are 4.8 nautical miles. Once we pass the VOR, then we actually want to change to, so we're on this leg right here, and we're going to want to change to 180,181. So we will wait until we cross for that. Okay, we're getting pretty close to the 09, so to the 00, which we'll see the flag flip. That means we've crossed over the VOR. We can see here's the VOR here. Here's our airplane. We're getting really close, and you can see it's disappeared. That means we are crossing over the VOR now. And now it's reappeared. That means we have passed the VOR. So let's go ahead and change to 180. Indeed, 180 is what we want. And we're going to fly this course for 22 nautical miles. And then we're going to come in, and that radial is going to be the 015. That's this radial, so we want to be on the opposite one since we're coming this way. So 180 degrees from 015 is 195. So we will go ahead and put that in. Since we are on autopilot, we will be following. Oh, we actually do need to change this. Go into heading. We need to intercept our radial here first, and then we'll worry about 195. Okay, now we can set that 195, but we are going to have to go into heading mode for that. So let's hit this and then go on to heading mode, change over to the CRG, and we need to set this as 195 instead of 000. Now let's go ahead and change back over to ours, and we'll go back into nav mode. Actually, we should pick up flight following. We don't have to, but it is smart to do so.
Jacksonville approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is type Cessna Skyhawk 6 miles east of Golf Alpha 4 at 4,500 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Jacksonville approach. Squawk 1266.
Squawk 1266 Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha radar contact 6 miles north of Golf Alpha 4,500 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Roger, Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha.
Okay, we're getting pretty close, 21.3. I'm going to change over to heading mode. And we're going to check on this CDI. And indeed, we're already there. So let's just go ahead and change over now. Over to nav, make sure that we get onto this. And now we're transferring over to the CRG. And let's go ahead and double check everything that we're doing. Make sure that we are on course VOR on the Craig, altitude 4,500, and let's check our maps. So currently we are right about here inbound, and then we're going to need to change our radial to this one right here, which it's kind of hard to read. There aren't too many numbers because there's so much going on right here. Here's 18, 19, 2000, 21, 22, 23.5. So I'd say 23.6 is what I'm going to shoot for. And not 23.6, I'm sorry, 236 is the radial I will shoot for once we have passed the VOR. And our autopilot kind of messed up there, so let's go ahead and change it over to 237. And we'll reset autopilot. You always need to be watching autopilot to make sure it does what it's supposed to, because it can malfunction and do something incorrectly. So there's 237.
Tower Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha is 8 miles northeast, 4,500 feet with Oscar to land.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Alpha Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2 and 276 at 7. Make straight in runway 28.
All right, we're gonna do straight in runway 28.
Fly straight in runway.
And I flew right
Cessna
past
Golf
that
Sierra
VOR,
Alpha.
so you gotta pay attention to that. All right, it's moving in. I'm gonna start hitting nav. Okay, VOR out 4005. We're gonna come in on runway 28. I'm gonna set that heading so that we know we are on the right runway when we are coming in. Not sure where the threshold is. It's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to make sure I land a little bit long. Better to... This runway is nice and long, so we really can go pretty far. Okay, there's the threshold right there, so we are safe to land at any point now.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, turn next taxiway.
The next taxiway, here we go.
Cessna Golf Sierra Alpha, contact ground on 128.6.
Ah, where did my mouse go? Whoa! The mouse disappeared. For some reason my mouse magically disappeared and I couldn't get it back, so I had to restart, but here we are where we were. They gave us taxi instructions for Bravo Alpha, cross runway 10 to Alpha, and if you don't know where to go, you can ask for a progressive taxi, but unfortunately in Microsoft Flight Simulator it doesn't do that. So the best way to go about it is to come in, actually I believe it's right up here in assistance, and do the landing and taxi guide. Boom. And now you have that available to you. It's going to show you exactly where to taxi. So in real life I would say, can I get a progressive taxi, and they would tell me turn right and then follow this alpha and turn, and so on. Anyway, so let's go ahead and just taxi over there, but first we have to finish off our after landing checklist. And there we go. We have gone all the way through it. I did make a few mistakes, and you always learn from your mistakes. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Put it in the comment section below. But thanks for watching.
If you do enjoy this content, please support the channel by doing one of three things. First, which is absolutely free, subscribe. Second, go into the description, click on Keyboard Flight Academy, and join Keyboard Flight Academy, where we teach you how to fly as real to life as possible in your simulator. Last, click on any of the Amazon links below. You don't have to buy the actual product that's being listed. If you have something in mind, click on the link, search for it, and purchase it. This actually still helps us out, and it can be literally anything.